To hear the full story and see the artwork, follow the link below. Look at yourself, he said quietly. The words were soft, but they carried weight, enough to make my chest tighten. I stood frozen in front of the mirror, my reflection blurring as my breathing grew uneven. The hospital bathroom was cold and sterile, its harsh lighting revealing everything I wasn't ready to see. And yet, behind me, Ethan's presence felt like the opposite. Warm, steady, overwhelming. "Do you see him?" he asked. "Even a little?" I didn't answer. Because I couldn't. The face staring back at me wasn't mine. The sharp jaw I used to recognize was gone. In its place were softer lines, unfamiliar contours. My shoulders were narrower, my frame smaller. Strands of pale blonde hair fell across my face, too long, too delicate. I lifted a trembling hand, brushing my fingers against my cheek as if that might fix it, might wake me up. It didn't. "Ethan," my voice cracked, and even that wasn't right. It was lighter, unfamiliar, like it belonged to someone else entirely. Memories clashed violently in my mind. Driving through the mountains. The storm. That impossible flash of light. And then, this. I was Jake, I whispered, more to myself than to him. I had a life. I had. "Things change," Ethan interrupted gently. I shook my head, stumbling slightly as I tried to step back. Even my balance felt off, like my body no longer followed the rules I understood. Before I could fall, his hand steadied me. The contact sent a strange jolt through me, not pain, not comfort, but something confusing that I couldn't name. "You're not used to it yet," he said. "That's all." Not used to it. As if this was something I was supposed to accept. Days passed, though they blurred together. The apartment that used to feel like mine now felt unfamiliar, like I was a guest in someone else's life. Everything required effort. Walking felt different. My posture, my movements, nothing came naturally anymore. Even simple tasks turned into frustrating reminders that I wasn't who I used to be. And then there was the mirror. I avoided it at first. But eventually, I had to look. Each time, the same realization hit me again, that the person staring back wasn't Jake. Ethan didn't push, not exactly. But he guided. Corrected. Observed. "You'll adjust," he told me one evening, watching as I struggled with something as simple as fastening the back of a garment I didn't recognize how to wear. "I don't want to adjust," I snapped, frustration finally breaking through. He didn't argue. Instead, he stepped closer and, without a word, helped finish what I couldn't. His movements were calm, practiced, like this was normal to him. "You don't have to understand it all at once," he said. "Just, stop fighting every second of it." I wanted to argue. I wanted to hold on to who I was, to insist that this was temporary, that I'd wake up and everything would go back to normal. But the truth was getting harder to ignore. Because nothing was changing back. 2 months later, the world outside felt just as unfamiliar as the one inside. "Let's go out," Ethan said one day. I almost refused. But part of me, some quiet, uncertain part, agreed. The restaurant was one I remembered. Or rather, one Jake remembered. That only made it worse. Everything felt different now. The way people looked at me, the way I carried myself, it was like stepping into a role I didn't audition for. I kept close to Ethan, not out of trust, but because I didn't know how to stand on my own anymore. Inside, the noise, the lights, the attention, it all pressed in at once. I felt exposed. Visible in a way I never had before. A year ago, I would have met those looks with confidence, maybe even defiance. Now, I just looked away. And for the first time, a quiet, unsettling thought crossed my mind. If this was my life now, who was I supposed to become?